All right. So what happened? Well, I mean, you're standing where? You're sitting somewhere? What happened?
Well, I was in a location that was a pretty good ways from the initial blast. Wasn't affected by the blast. I was able to make it out and get up forward to where the lifeboats. The PA system was still working. There was an announcement overhead that this was not a drill. Obviously, we have fire drills every single week to prepare for emergencies like this, fire and abandonment drills. And over the intercom came the order to report to the lifeboats 1 and 2 that this was not a drill, that there is a fire, and we proceeded that way.
So the 11 men who died, were they friends of yours?
Yes, sir, they were.
Did they die instantly?
I would have to assume so, yes, sir. I would think that they were directly inside the bomb when it went off.
How did you get off there?
The gas being the bomb.
Okay, so the bomb being the gas explosion you're talking about.
Correct. They would have been in the belly of the beast.
Now let me ask you, we have to be careful what we say because people will run wild with ideas, so I just want to make sure. So let me ask you this. By the way, why would the government send a SWAT team to a rig? What's that all about?
Well, believe it or not, it's funny you should mention that. The Transocean maintains a SWAT team, the drilling company, that their sole purpose, they're experts in their field. The BOP, the blowout preventer, they call that subsea equipment. They have their own SWAT team that they send out to the rigs to service and maintain that equipment.
Yeah, but I'm talking about. Trained. But what are interior SWAT teams? What is that?
The interior from the government now, that I don't have any idea. That's beyond me. And the other gentleman also mentioned the USGS that comes out and does the surveys. I've been on that particular rig for 3 years, offshore 5 years, and I've seen the USGS one time. What we do have on a very regular basis is the MMS, which is the Minerals Management Service.
And they're all under the Interior Department.
Okay. Yes, we do have. Matter of fact, we were commended for our inspection record from the MMS. We had actually received an award from them for the highest level of safety and environmental awareness.
Well, I thought you were going to receive that award. Didn't they put it on hold?
No, we have actually received that award. We received it last year. We may have been ready to receive it again this year.
Well, let me ask you this. So the lifeboats. So how did you get on this lifeboat? Where are these lifeboats?
There's actually 4 lifeboats, 2 forward and 2 aft, depending on where the emergency or the tragedy is taking place.
I mean, did you wind up jumping in the water to get on the lifeboat? Sometimes you have to do that.
I'll just say that there were 5 to 7 individuals that jumped, and the rest went down in lifeboats.
All right, I won't ask because you don't want to identify yourself that clearly. Good point. How fast were rescue efforts? How fast did they reach you?
Well, it's common to have a very large workboat standing by, bringing tools out, bringing groceries, bringing supplies. It's a constant turnaround. So we actually had a very large vessel real close by. He was actually alongside with a hose attached, taking mud off of our vessel onto his own that had to disconnect. And, in the emergency, he disconnected and then pulled out about a mile to stand by for rescue efforts. So it was fairly quick.
How quick till the Coast Guard got there?
Mark, it's hard to say. Between 45 minutes to maybe an hour when I recall seeing the first helicopter.
Which is actually pretty fast because you're 130 miles offshore, right?
Correct. If you look at the nearest spit of land, which would be Grand Isle, Louisiana, somewhere in that area, we were only about maybe 50 miles as the crow flies. But from civilizations such as New Orleans, it would be 200 miles.
Mm-hmm.
A place where there was a helicopter was more than likely 80 to 100 miles away.
You're going to be beset by lawyers with the government. others looking for an opportunity to make money. It's going to get very, very ugly. And officials are going there that really have no background or experience, climate change and so forth. I mean, to what extent is that going to help anything? That's silly.
To me, this seems all knee-jerk. The number one focus right now needs to be containment. You know, I like the idea of the boom they're going to try to lower down into the water to capture the leak.
But how long might that take? I've been reading about this boom, and it says it could take 30 days to do that.
It very well could. You got to remember the challenging environment. You know, it's 5,000 feet deep. There's a tangled wreck of a rig with all that marine riser still connected and twisted up into a big wad down there. So, I mean, it's going to take some time to get all that stuff in place. You know, the engineering has to be there. You obviously don't want to rush into it. You want to move expediently, but you also have you're risking the lives of those men that are going to go out there and try to attempt this
I was just going to say that. That's very dangerous, right? I mean, extremely
dangerous. Absolutely. There's going to be oil. There's going to be natural gas. There's all the same things that caused us to explode are still present. They're there. The pressure has been cut off dramatically from the simple fact of the folding of the riser. It has basically took this great big garden hose and kinked it over several times.
How old is this rig? How long has it been there?
It was put into service in 2001, so it's a fairly new rig.
And, I mean, what is the sense of shutting down every rig in the Gulf of Mexico in response to this?
Absolutely no sense whatsoever.
I mean,
this was literally could very well be a once-in-a-lifetime freak accident, or it could be negligence. That's for other people to figure out. But from my position, it just seems like, you know, every now and then you can't win against Mother Nature. She throws you a curveball that you're not prepared for.
But to shut down every rig, I mean, in response to this, I mean, I'm not sure why that.
There's no. These BOP tests are literally mandated from the Minerals Management Service, and they're conducted like clockwork. I mean, and if any one of those tests ever failed, they would immediately stop the operation, seal the well up, pull the BOP stack back up on the deck, which is, you know, 48 hours minimum, and make the necessary repairs or replacement parts, and then go back down, reconnect, retest, and keep testing until it passes, or keep repairing it until it passes.
So this was, I mean, this must have been incredibly harrowing to you. I mean, to experience something like this.
That's putting it mildly.
Mm-hmm. Well,
very mildly.
Anything else you want to tell me?
No, I had got in the truck to make a short trip, and I heard a gentleman say something about possible terrorism and things. I wanted to put all that to bed now. And I understand your audience, you have a large audience. I appreciate your point of view. I try to listen to you as much as I can. There's just terrorism and all that needs to leave everyone's mind, and let's focus on the 11 men that are dead and the survivors. That's where the focus for this country needs to be right now.
All right, my friend. Well, look, we wish you all the best, and I'll tell you, it's really God's blessing that you survived. It really is.
Yes, sir. I completely agree.
All right, James.
For a purpose.
Well, thank you very much for calling in. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Mark.
All right, God bless.